Hey, good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Tuesday, September the 30th. Actually, a little correction. It won't be an actual scripture reflection, it will be a spiritual one that includes some of our animal friends and how we can make our lives and the lives of others more peaceful through healing and compassion. But before that, I would ask us to pray today for patience, a very important attribute for all of us to have some patience in our life, to add some patience to some situations where maybe right now we normally do not do so. So let us all pray for a little bit more patience in our lives. Thank you. And just one practical thing, and you may have heard this before. For additional patience, sometimes it just takes a couple of good deep breaths. Our breathing gets a little shallow and we get a little uptight, and to get more patience, it's just a matter of a deeper, longer breath. It does work. With that, today I am going to speak to you first, just for a moment or two, about Saint Isaac the Syrian. Saint Isaac the Syrian lived 1500 years ago, and he explained that if we are to be truly compassionate, then our heart is to have no boundaries. Our heart must also embrace all creation, not just people. It is the boundless heart full of compassion that fuels prayer with ultimate power. Here are his words. It is a heart which is burning with love for whole creation, for humans, for the birds, for the beasts, for all creation. Someone who has such a heart cannot see or call to mind a creature without eyes being filled with tears by reason of the immense compassion which seizes their heart. A heart which is softened and can no longer bear to see or learn from others of any suffering, even the smallest pain, being inflicted on a creature. That is why we never cease to pray for all creation. Obviously, Saint Isaac of Syrian, the Syrian, is someone who I look up to. I believe we all should have more compassion for all creation. Now, sometimes it takes, as I said in my intro, a little patience, and it takes something else. And to explain that, I'd like to indulge me with a story. It's when I was still subbing in the middle school several years ago, and a young boy was really giving me a hard time one day. So much so that my patience was tested, and I yelled at him pretty harshly. He definitely quieted down at that time. I was happy, but I also felt a little remorse that I had to raise my voice the way I did. A few days later, I was at the front door. They had asked me to do that for security in the school on several days of the week. And in comes this boy's grandmother. And I recognized her. I knew her from town. We started to speak a little bit about life in general, and she was there to pick up this boy that day. And she asked if she could have a moment with me. And she explained to me, had no knowledge, by the way, of me yelling at this young man the way I did. But she explained to me how he doesn't sleep at night because his mother had surgery, and he usually stays up all night to take care of his mother, who is very, very sick. She lives not far away, but can't live there because of her own needs, but does the best she can to balance everything out. But she told me that it was something she wanted me to know about him, so in the future, maybe I would understand a little bit more about him. I'm sure you could tell the way I felt, but it was a very interesting revelation as well. It was one that told me that we don't always know the whole story about someone who is in need of compassion and patience. This also extends to our animal friends. We don't know or understand all they go through at the hands of humans. We know a little bit here and there, But sometimes we're not going to be told, just like this grandmother told me about this young man. We have to sometimes do our own research about what our animal friends go through. Those in shelters, those in factory farms, those who are exploited for entertainment. And then and only then, we have the opportunity, as St. Isaac said, to expand our heart somewhat. Now, there's a reality here. We should be able to do that without the knowledge. But that's like putting the cart before the horse. And I shouldn't use that extension because horses shouldn't be plowing carts. But it's like putting, things ahead of, going for a master's degree before we have our high school education. How about that? So we can't really get to that point until we take the time and patience and understanding of what our animal friends and our human friends are going through sometimes so that we can offer more patience and compassion. And once we do that to an extent, then we could do as St. Isaac the Syrian says, and we could just open our hearts to all without having to know anything. But one step at a time, right, my friends? Let's start by that. Let's start by taking a little patience and then a little research, a little understanding, make some different choices, and expand our heart, expand compassion, and bring more peace to the world. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Tuesday. As always, I hope it was helpful for you. You could take it into your day. As always, I welcome and appreciate your comments and your thoughts. But as always, I mostly appreciate you being here with me. I want to wish you and your loved ones a beautiful Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you back here on Friday. Friday is the anniversary, the 14th year anniversary of Daniel surviving the gas chamber. So I look forward to being with you on Friday and including a little memorial for Daniel, a little lesson from his life on this very special day. Until then, take good care.